Jared Leto, how you doing?
It's showtime.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl Nita, your favorite diva, and I'm back. I'm back to review Morbius. This is Morbius. I really don't get all of the hate that this film is getting. At best, it's a B movie, vampire movie, and at worst, it is a subpar 2020 comic book movie that should have came out in 2000. There are issues, but the hate is just, y'all, the hate is so real, y'all. Stop hating. Can y'all stop hating? The movie is directed by Daniel Espinola. He did Life and Safe House, both of which I haven't watched. We have starring Jared Leto, of course, Matt Smith, Jared Harris, Adria Arjona, Tyrese Gibson, among many others. It's classified. Now listen, Linda.
Okay.
Action, adventure, horror, sci-fi, thriller. What in the hell is going on here? And that is some of the problems I'll get into in the cons. It's rated PG-13. Another issue. And it clocks in at 1 hour and 44 minutes. The synopsis reads: a biochemist, Michael Morbius, tries to cure himself of a rare blood disease, but he inadvertently infects himself with a form of vampirism instead. And that is all I'm going to say, because this is your spoiler-free review. If you're new to the channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Nita, your diva. To my diva squad, welcome back. You know what we do here. I watch movies so you don't have to. I give you the good, bad, and everything in between, with no spoilers, of course. And then I'll let you know whether or not you should know or go see it in theaters. Okay, where it's exclusively showing. And looking at the hate, it won't be in theaters long. So if you want to go see it at the movies, go see it soon. The synopsis overall is a great concept on paper. I think there's a good story there. Now, with this movie was actually slated to come out pre-pandemic. Well, you know what? I think they had, the first date that they had was June or July 2020. And you remember the pandemic hit in March of 2020. So after grueling, just holds of the film and of other movies that then came out, like Spider-Man No Way Home. This movie was supposed to come out before Spider-Man No Way Home. That is why this movie is so incomplete. I can tell you that off of rip. The story is incomplete because of a lot of edits. Now, I don't know if they didn't know that Marvel was getting ready to break the multiverse open. I think we should have learned that in WandaVision, and that was pre-pandemic. So maybe that's not so good on you, Sony. But anyway, that being said, I'll get into some of the cons of where all of that editing and choppiness gets into this movie. But if you don't think about it too much, and with me, it doesn't feel like a comic book movie because I don't read the comic books. So I went into it just as a viewer to see a man who was handicapped, and he tried to cure, just what the movie said, right? And I got that. I got it. So, what no problems with me? I mean, not that many problems where the hate is so real. So Jared Leto did a great job as Michael Morbius. How you doing? I actually think he elevated the material that was given to him. I believed his plight. I believed his genius. I believe some of the science, not all of the science, but some of the science I did believe, and kind of got into it. Yes, he was smart. I'm here for it. However, now y'all know me. Y'all know me. Okay, so sometimes I like when people ham it up. I like when you ham it up. And and I think Matt Smith, who plays Milo, which is Michael's best friend, actually stole the show from him. They actually act like they were in two different movies. Like Michael Morbius, he was so serious and everything. Milo, not so much. I mean, Matt Smith was having a good old time, and I wish if any time you needed to ham it up, Jared Leto, because we know you could do it. We know you can ham it up. This might have been a time that you could have played around with it. I just think the movie kind of took itself too seriously, and with the science not really sciencing and the math not really mathing, sometimes when you take yourself too serious in a movie, it kind of messes with the tone, and people aren't quite sure of where to go. But I was very entertained by Matt Smith. I think his performance in it, because it was so striking, it may come off just the opposite to other people. So the beginning of the movie, it felt like it was a cohesive story. It was like an origin story, a backstory, if you will. But they didn't linger there for too long at all. Once the movie got moving, and like I said, it did move at a breakneck pace early on. Like we got like the gist of everything. Everything was coming along, but during that time, there were a lot of different plot holes because they had to cut the movie up. The movie was very choppy. If you might have been forgiven if you said you didn't know it was supposed to come out, if you didn't know that it was a comic book movie, if you didn't know that it was like a Spider-Man villain, you may be forgiven if you went into this movie just thinking it was a vampire movie. And I think that could be the best way. Honestly, it just really could be the best way. And the plot holes made the story less compelling. So the production design was okay, the costuming was okay, the score was okay. I think everything was just like okay. You see what I'm saying? Everything was just kind of okay. Um, as far as the cons, hands down for me, the worst part of this movie was the post-credit scenes. Absolutely not. Who the hell greenlit that? Who did it? Who did it? Who did it? Heads need to roll. That shit was so ridiculous. The post-credit scenes, it actually dropped the quality of the movie overall for me. It made no sense. It absolutely had nothing to do with nothing. It didn't even have the same continuity to tie into anything like what they were trying to do. Like it absolutely made no sense at all. Also, too, the trailers were vastly different going into the movie. So if you thought you was going to get the movie from the trailer, baby, I'm sorry to report. Not so much. That's why I can't really get into a lot of stuff, and I'm trying to keep everything kind of really vague. It was a different finished product, and definitely you can tell. I like the visual effects. They were really good. They were done well. I did not like, but I've seen it. I've seen it done on some vampire movies where you have like this what is it, like ink looking type of, whatever, like, just looking. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. And I think the reason why I didn't like it is because I think it messed up the overall visuals. Like you couldn't really see what was going on, if that makes sense. Yeah. So some of the visual effects, like when they went into the Morbius, like the face and with Jared Leto, that was fantastic. But the other stuff, not so much. When you get into the third act, you get into a lot of stuff that you can't really understand and see what's going on. And once you get to the climax of a superhero movie, sometimes it falls off the rails and you just like, So it's one of them things. It was just okay. Okay. So yeah, there are two post-credit scenes. You don't even have to stay. But if you do, it's not all the way at the end because they knew people was probably getting ready to just get up and leave anyway. There were so many like dumb things that really happened. I know that was messing with the critics. I know that just the dumb moments was just like one of the things that's like. So before I give you my overall thoughts on Morbius, why don't you take a moment and follow me on my social media? It's right there. So for my overall thoughts for Morbius, while I thought Jared Leto and Matt Smith were the best aspects of the movie, it wasn't quite enough to save it for me. Unfortunately, there are so many things that didn't make sense, so many things that were super corny and lame, and too many cut and edited and chopped scenes and sequences that created plot holes in the movies. It was very predictable. There were no big twists or reveals, and we are too far in modern technology and in storytelling in the comic book genre to churn out a 2005 B list movie in the year 2022. So it wasn't the worst, but it definitely wasn't amongst the great. It was just okay. So I say you don't have to see this in theaters, but it is okay to stream whenever it becomes available for streaming if it's free. I give it 2.5 out of 5 stars. And for my Diva recommendations, I have Venom, Blade, and Constantine. And so that'll do it for me for my review of Morbius. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Share my videos. Make sure I'm Nita, your favorite diva, and you make sure you come back. Bye.